When your cat ignores their water bowl, do you actually know what that means? You probably think they're just being picky, maybe even a little dramatic. But behind that simple behavior, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most instinct-driven survival decisions your cat makes every single day. And if you respond to it the wrong way, which most owners do, you might slowly be pushing your cat toward dehydration without even realizing it. Let's start with what that behavior really means. First, it's not pickiness, it's survival instinct. Have you ever noticed your cat walking up to their water bowl, sniffing it, and then just leaving? Most people think they're just being fussy. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat isn't rejecting the water, they're questioning its safety. In the wild, cats evolved to avoid drinking water near their food, because in nature, water sources near prey could easily be contaminated with bacteria or decay. So even if the water looks clean to you, to your cat, it might feel risky. Think about that for a second. Your cat isn't ignoring you, they're trying to protect themselves. And here's where it gets even more important. When you place their water bowl right next to their food, which most owners do, you're unknowingly triggering that ancient survival alarm every single day. And by the way, if your cat prefers drinking from taps, puddles, or even your glass instead of their bowl, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that really means later, and it's something most owners wish they understood sooner. Second, your cat's brain is wired to distrust still water. Now let's take this deeper. A 2019 study from the University of Lincoln on feline behavior found that cats show a clear preference for moving water over still water. But here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just preference, it's instinctive risk assessment. In the wild, stagnant water is more likely to carry harmful bacteria. Moving water, like streams, is safer. So when your cat avoids a still bowl, they're not being difficult. They're following a survival rule that's been protecting their species for thousands of years. Think about that for a second. Every time your cat chooses not to drink, it's not laziness, it's caution. And emotionally, that changes everything. Because now, it's not about getting your cat to drink more. It's about making them feel safe enough to drink. Third, the invisible scent barrier you can't see. Now here's something even more subtle. Have you ever noticed your cat drinking more from random places, but less from their own bowl? Most people assume it's random behavior, but here's what's actually happening. Cats experience the world through scent in a way we can't even imagine. When food sits near water, it releases oils, microscopic particles, and smells that mix into the air, and sometimes into the water itself. To you, it's nothing. To your cat, it's a signal. This water isn't clean. Behavioral scientists who study feline sensory perception have observed that cats are extremely sensitive to even slight changes in smell and taste. So when the water bowl is too close to food, your cat may reject it entirely. Think about that. It's not about what you see, it's about what your cat senses. And what makes this even more meaningful is this. Your cat trusts their instincts more than anything, even more than you, which means if something feels wrong to them, they won't compromise. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. Fourth, this behavior comes from a wild past. Now let's go back even further. Long before your cat had a cozy home, their ancestors survived in harsh, unpredictable environments. Water wasn't always safe, food wasn't always fresh, and one wrong decision could mean illness or worse. So cats evolved a simple rule. Never trust water near food. Here's what's actually happening. That instinct never disappeared. It adapted. Your modern house cat may sleep on a soft bed, but their brain still carries the same survival code as a wild hunter. Think about that for a second. Every time your cat avoids their water bowl, you're not seeing a house pet. You're seeing thousands of years of evolution playing out in your living room. And emotionally, this means something powerful. Your cat isn't being stubborn. They're being exactly who they were designed to be. Fifth, not all cats react the same, and that matters now. Here's where it gets personal. Have you ever wondered why some cats seem to drink normally, while others barely touch their bowl? Most people think it's just personality. But here's what's actually happening. Cats have different sensitivity levels to smell, taste, and environmental cues. Some are more tolerant, others are extremely precise. And those sensitive cats, they're the ones most affected by this mistake. They don't just adjust, they withdraw. They drink less. And over time, that can quietly impact their health. Think about that. Your cat's behavior isn't random. It's a reflection of how deeply they perceive their environment. And here's what makes this even more meaningful. If your cat is one of the ones who avoids their bowl completely, it doesn't mean they're difficult. It means they're more aware, more instinct-driven, more in tune with survival signals than most. Sixth, this isn't about water. It's about trust now. Here's the part most owners never realize. This isn't just about hydration. It's about trust. Remember earlier when I said your cat choosing taps, sinks, or your glass over their bowl isn't random? This is what I was talking about. Here's what's actually happening. Your cat is searching for a water source that feels safe. And when they find one, like a running tap, they relax. They drink. Because in that moment, their instincts say, this is okay. Think about that for a second. Your cat isn't rejecting you. They're trying to survive in a world that doesn't always match their instincts. And your role is to bridge that gap. Because when you adjust something as simple as where their water is placed, you're not just solving a problem. You're telling your cat, I understand you. And that changes your relationship more than you think. Seventh, when this behavior changes, don't ignore it now. There's one last thing you need to know. If your cat suddenly stops drinking altogether, or drastically changes their drinking habits, don't ignore it. Here's what's actually happening. Changes in water intake can signal stress, illness, or discomfort. Veterinary studies have shown that reduced hydration is often one of the earliest silent indicators of health issues in cats. And because cats naturally hide weakness, this might be the only signal you get. Think about that. What looks like a small habit could be your cat asking for help. So, the next time you notice it, pay attention, because this is where most owners get it wrong. So when your cat ignores their water bowl, do you actually know what it means? It's not pickiness, it's not attitude, it's instinct, survival, and trust, all working together. That small decision your cat makes every day, it carries thousands of years of evolution behind it. That's not a habit. That's your cat trying to stay safe in a world they don't fully understand. And when you change something as simple as where you place their water, you're not just helping them drink more, you're respecting who they are. And that behavior, it was never small to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either.